Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. It's been a while. I might be a little rusty, but not too bad.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Mike. Has he been on every week?
Every single week. Yep.
Mike, you're great. You're a great person, Michael.
Everybody, welcome to Tour Tuesday. We start at 7:30 on a little early. If you are new, make sure you comment in the chat so we can see who's on, because all we can see is the number of people. So, hey there, Darlene. Yeah, just comment and say hi. That would be great. We can see you there. What day is it today? Tuesday? Boy, it all runs together.
I know it, and it's going to be April.
I know. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Karen
Johnson, good to see you. Thanks for being on. Yeah, tonight we are talking about Mackinac Island, and this is our crown jewel. I think I could agree that Cindy and I's our favorite trips.
Yes, we have sort of a throwback video of the past.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to show you a couple videos tonight. One of them, the throwback that we did when we were putting together our own marketing this video is from 2016, 10 years ago.
Okay.
10 years ago. And then we have another one that kind of talks a little bit more about Mackinac, and then we'll share some of our favorite things about it and what you can expect on our tours. So look out. Ray is on. Hi, Diane. Good to see you. Debbie Douglas, good to see you. Kay is on. Oh, Morgan was talking to Kay quite a bit today. That's good. Cindy Schwer, good to see you. Schwer. Thanks for being here. Okay, well, we have Gary and Jill are on. Hi, guys. Okay, we got a lot to cover tonight, so we're going to get started. First things first, we want to welcome back all of our Iceland guests today. And kind of a crazy story. So we'll show you some pictures. I don't know if you saw on Facebook, but here is one of the pictures. That's in Reykjavik. That's the most famous church steeple cathedral. You think about Iceland, you think about that cathedral.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so that is so cool. It's a picture that one of our guests took from their hotel. So it's very cool. They did all kinds of cool things, including the Blue Lagoon.
Were they all in there?
They're all in the water.
Oh my gosh.
They've got drinks and everything.
Oh my gosh.
And that looks so great. And I can't wait to hear all about how that was. They saw the Northern Lights last week. I shared some pictures of the Northern Lights and everything. Hey, Leslie, good to see you. Hi, Karen. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Good to see you from Sedona, Arizona on the Southwest train trip. Oh, we're going to cover your trip here too. Speaking of the devil. So Iceland, crazy. Iceland had an ice storm when all of our guests were trying to get out of there. So they were supposed to be back on Saturday, and we had people sort of staggered leave when we had our last group of people get back this morning, this afternoon. So everybody is back now. Definitely a team effort. Big shout out to Pat and Jane on the tour, and Bree and our team here for getting everything rearranged as fast as possible. There's only one airline that flies into Iceland, right, which is Iceland Air. And so if they're bogged down, that is the bottleneck, and trying to get everybody back with all the different flights and everything. It was an interesting challenge.
You guys did a good job. You and Bree got those planes together.
Yeah. Yes. It was crazy, but so glad. And it sounds like the trip was great. And so we're excited to do it again next year. And it'll be great to get everybody's feedback on how it went. So that is Iceland. And then Brian's on. He's on with the group. Hi, and he is currently in on the Southwest train trip. There he is with some of our guests there on one of the trains. That is, I believe, the Grand Canyon Railroad. Brian can comment and see if that's the one. Hi, Sharon Birch. Good to see you. Leslie. So there's some of the group. And it turns out that not only do you just sit and relax, but the train actually gets robbed on the way to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, my.
So they have a little show that they get to. That looks so fun. So they do all kinds of cool things. The cool things on the Southwest Trains Tour is that it's not just trains. You do the Grand Canyon Railroad. You do the Verde Canyon Railroad. You're going to do the Red Rocks Jeep Tour. You do Death Valley. You're going to do Vegas and the Hoover Dam. You do a chocolate tour. It's a really cool, unique mix of all kinds of things. And you start in Albuquerque. So
look at that little devil on the front.
Brian said it was a short robbery.
Good pun.
Oh my goodness. So Yeah, so we will have the tour again next year. So that is the Southwest Trains and More. So if you haven't checked that one out yet, add it to your list because it's spectacular. All right, so then we got so then coming up, Chicago Mob is leaving on April 1st. That's our next tour out, and that is with Paige, and she's actually going to be training two newer guides. So one of them, his name is Alex. He's going to be joining the team this year, and so he's going to be on that trip training. And then some of you might probably know the Coffins. Mitch Coffin is a shuttle driver, and Vicky is an ambassador for us, and so they've helped at tour parties. And then he's going to jump on and start learning to guide also. But they're going as guests on this one, but he's going to help in and chip in as he always does. Okay. So that'll be really fun. We did that tour when we first started.
Right. When we had just the family, I think.
Yep. Right? Yep. And then I took it once. Well, when did I get the van stuck in that parking lot? Oh, God. I don't remember if that was a mob tour or not, but it was a Chicago tour. I got the rental van jammed into the parking garage. It said it was tall enough, but turns out it might not have been.
Well, right. Because all the people got off.
Yes.
That
is exactly why.
We had all the people in the van and he could get in. But when they all got out, he couldn't get.
Yeah, it scraped the top of the cement pier. I thought that we were going to be riding back with like an open sunroof on the top. It sounded so crazy. Hi, Debbie Douglas. Hey, Taylor. Good to see you. So anyway, they're leaving and that'll be fun. And then Carrie is taking out Charleston and Savannah with a sold out tour to Charleston and Savannah, and that leaves on April 8th. So lots of great trips out there coming up, and we'll talk about the ones that are coming up here at the end of the trip, at the end of the show. So, all right, so Mackinac, we started this tour when the tour company started.
Right.
And we really got, it was probably always on the list to have.
Right, it was.
But we got invited the first time.
Right, for 2 days.
2 days.
For 2 days, we could get there, okay, or stay on the island. So we did.
Yeah, we did.
And we did it, drove all the way. We drove all the way. Jay had his pack or a 6-pack of Red Bull.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. And me, who falls asleep in the evening at 8 o'clock sometimes. But we got through the whole night.
Oh my God!
But I would drive for 10 minutes, and then you would drive for an hour.
And then oh my God!
And then I would drive another 10 minutes. But we got there.
That lady must have been like, "What in the heck happened to these people? There must have been zombies."
We got there, and then we laid down and we fell asleep
for the whole first day. Yep.
So we only have 1 day to check it out.
But we fell in love with it.
It was beautiful.
It was so fun.
We loved it.
So we decided to make a tour of it. When I was a tour guide, we did the Mackinac tour, and we just went for the day. And a lot of companies do that. It's just not the same though. Stay there, right? And we found that out when we stayed, and just stay overnight in the hotels on Main Street, and to hear the horses and be a part of all the action is just amazing. So we started promoting it. And we've had groups go ever since. So we're going to show you a video from 2016. So don't write any of these dates down on this video because they're not right. But this is a video that we shot of ourselves. We pieced it all together. Early technology about how to promote Mackinac. So take a peek at this.
Oh, hey there. Cindy and I were just talking about how much fun we had on our Mackinac Island tour last year.
Wave to the camera, Ann. Wave.
Have an idea. How about you come along with us to Mackinac Island this year? We'll ride the bikes around the island. The tour is September 4th through the 9th.
Visit us at our website, www.excitemytravel.com, or give us a call.
We can't wait to travel with you.
So yeah,
didn't we look young there?
Wow, that was about
Jay, you were so
1,000 pounds ago, and a lot less life lived through.
He's so cute.
It was crazy. Hi, Kay.
He made me ride around that island.
Oh my God, we practiced in Chicago before we went.
That is not good. That is not good. thing. He made me. I hadn't ridden a bike for years. And he goes, "We're going to ride down to the Navy Pier." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Why don't you just practice here on this street right in front of the road?" So I did once.
Yeah, it was fine.
I did once. And then he took off.
Let's go.
Yeah. And I couldn't keep up with him. So I held on to the back of a bus and I had it pull me.
It was wild.
And I got to where I was supposed to be.
Yep.
And then I stopped. And I think I just passed out.
It was like you blacked out. It was so great. All of a sudden, just choop. Oh my gosh.
Because I couldn't believe I did that.
It was crazy. And then we got on the island and rode the bikes around. It was really fun. I suggested if you did. Hey Ash, good to see you. Dad's on.
Hi Ashley. Hi Rob.
Mark is on. Denise, good to see you. Anna, good to see you all. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you on here. So crazy. So but we have another video for you. It's short, but it talks a lot about what you can expect on Mackinac Island and some of the things that set it apart. So we're gonna add that and take a watch.
This is the professional
This
one.
is the professional one.
Mackinac Island, surely the highlight of any visit to the Straits area. Shuttles will drop you off dockside, where you'll begin a day filled with fresh air, history, shopping, and the pristine beauty of the Straits of Mackinac. As you arrive dockside, it won't be long before you become acquainted with life in a bygone era. Mackinac Island is perhaps the only community of its kind where no motor vehicles are allowed. A favorite mode of transportation on the island is bicycling. You can pedal along the 8-mile shoreline trail through the beautiful old Victorian community. Stroll through the charming village streets, where you'll find antique and souvenir shops, saloons, and dining. Saddle up at one of the many stables on the island, or climb aboard a carriage tour for one of the most informative ways to see the many memorable points of interest, like the natural curiosity Arch Rock and the century-old Grand Hotel, which was featured in the movie Somewhere in Time, starring Christopher Reeve. Perched high on top of a 150-foot limestone bluff, overlooking the village of Mackinac Island is Fort Mackinac. The fort served as an important military outpost. Visitors can experience American military life during the 1880s. Artifacts housed in original buildings, period craft demonstrations, and costumed reenactments bring this charming era back to life.
Oh,
So that's a pretty big, pretty good overview of Island. So the cool thing about it is when you go, again, we're staying with us for 3 nights, and so you get to do and see a lot of stuff. So we're going to walk through what that would be like if you went on the tour. So we actually have 4 dates.
right.
And what are those dates?
Oh, naturally. They are June 4th, from May 30th to June 4th, and then from June 6th to June 11th, and then September 6th through the 11th, and September 9th through the 14th.
Yep. So you have 2 Nebraska departures and 2 Kansas departures. So if you're in either of those markets, then you can jump on. If you're from St. Louis and you really want to come with us, we can figure out how to get you from St. Louis because our friends at Cornerstone Travel Group, we'll work it out. Because St. Louis, we could probably get you up to Chicago, outside Chicago that
Right.
first night. So
Tinley Park.
yeah, but it's great. So first day is a drive day. So we get everybody picked up, drive across the Midwest to Chicago, and we stay in Tinley Park, which is south of the city, to avoid all the chaos and traffic.
Right.
Which we learned that the hard way a couple of years, so a long time ago, and have a great welcome dinner.
And then the second day, we get up bright and early, and we're going to go halfway to South Haven.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little sailboat town.
Yeah.
Lots of sailboats, and we let you out, and you can go shopping. There's a lot of shops there, and you shop and you have lunch there, and you can walk the dock and see the water and everything like that. And we stay there for about 3 hours, right? And then we head out to Mackinac the rest of the way. We get to Mackinac probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5:30. And then we get on the ferry.
Yep.
And we go over to Mackinac, to the island.
Yep. And they take your luggage for you. So we bundle it all up, and then it goes on the ferry. And then when you get off the ferry, the hotel we stay in is the Lilac and the Chippewa, and they're right around the corner from the ferry dock. And then they will put your bags at the hotel in your rooms.
Right. They'll probably be there before you get there.
Yeah.
That's how fast they are. And they use bikes.
Yeah, they use bikes.
So they're pretty good at that. Okay. And then that evening, once you get there, we have the evening's yours, and you can go out and you can check out all the stores because they will still be open. And then there's lots of places to go to eat, or you can go to a lounge or something. They have lots of music all the time throughout the whole city. And that night is yours.
Yep.
The next day you get up bright and early again, and they're going to bring the trolley around, and all of you are going to board the trolley, and they'll give you a tour of the island all the way around and show you all the things that happened there in the war, and show you the grave sites and that arch. They'll show you the arch too, and everything like that. And then once it gets to what time is it? About 11:30. We stop at the Grand, and you have the Grand buffet.
Yeah, amazing. My favorite thing.
I know. I think they tried to use plate, or they decided to try and just do a dinner plate,
Yeah.
But then they decided to bring the buffet back again.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
it's like a football field long. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's very fancy. You don't have to dress fancy, but it's just very old style.
Old school.
Yeah, it's cool. And then all the big windows are open along, so you can see the Straits of Mackinac and Lake Huron. It's pretty cool.
And then once you're done with lunch, you can walk around the whole hotel and look around. And there's shops in the bottom of the hotel, so you can shop down there, or you can sit on their deck. It's the biggest deck.
Yeah. In North America.
In North America, and you can have a drink, just sit there and sit in a rocker and just enjoy the scenery,
Beautiful.
Talk to people and whatever. And then once you're done with that, you can either walk downtown or you can take one of the trolleys.
Yeah. So they're all horse-drawn carriages, and you just call up a taxi, and then they can get it for you, and you can go back down. The good thing about the way that this works with the Grand Hotel is that it's downhill from there. So you don't have to, you can just walk downhill back to the main street and where all the hotels and everything are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then we did have some people that wanted to play golf. And the golf is right across the street from the Mackinac Hotel. So we got them their tea time and everything. So they got to play golf, and it's a beautiful course.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And that was that day.
Yeah.
And the rest of the evening's yours to do what you want again. And then the next day, you can there's options. You can either go into town, into the city, take the ferry back into the city, and go see the lighthouses that we have set up for you. Or you can go downtown and shop some more, or eat at their places that they have there. And then you come back probably about 4 o'clock, and we get on the sip and sail. And they usually have music, and they have some kind of snack, or whatever. And then they always have music. Well, I said music, didn't I?
Yeah,
music, drinks and snacks.
Yep.
Right. So that's what you do that evening. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And the next day you come back. So that third day is built for you to do whatever you want. So if you wanted to go bike around the island, that would be the day to do it. If you wanted to, do all your shopping, or if you wanted to, one time we just got a book and sat by the water. On one side of the island, the waves sort of roll on like the ocean. So there's like that, you can hear those waves crashing. And the other side is smooth and clear.
As glass.
And that's where we saw that naked dude get in that water.
On the bike ride. As we were riding the bike, this guy is shedding his clothes. I go, Jay, he's shedding his clothes.
That's a sight, that's for sure. Oh my God, it was so funny. So, and then you come back. So, it's great. The tour is $23.99 for a double occupancy. The hotel, everything on Mackinac is like so cool. And the reason we get a lot of questions, probably the biggest question we get is, do you stay at the Grand Hotel? Why or why not? And so we don't stay there because it is far away from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we go to lunch there, and then you can spend all afternoon hanging out there. But you're away from everything else. So if you wanted to do all the shopping and the fudge and the gardens and the fort and all of that, bike rental and everything is right on the street that your hotel is on.
Right.
And so once you get there and see that, then you're like, oh, I'm glad that we stayed down here.
And it's a long walk.
Oh my gosh.
It's uphill.
Yeah. And it would be uphill to Mackinac,
Right.
to the Grand Hotel. Yeah.
Right.
So, we'd love to have you join us. If you haven't done a trip like Mackinac, it should be at the top of your U.S. bucket list. It's so unique. There's no other island like that. And again, there's no cars, all horse-drawn carriages and bikes. So it's super unique. Very fun. Okay, we got 4 dates of those. That's great. Okay, so upcoming tours. We have quite a few things coming up. Mystery Tour number 5. This is our most active mystery tour. And so it's not intense or hard. It's just more active than everything else we have. And so you should check it out. It's super fun. And that tour has really picked up now. So we're over halfway sold out already. So if you were thinking about going on that one-day tour, jump on with us. We would love to have you on that tour. It's a blast. You'll have a great Saturday.
It's April 25th.
Yep.
And then the next one is the Pella Tulip Festival. And we always seem to have 1 or 2 buses for the Pella Tulip Festival.
Yeah.
We go, it's just beautiful. That town is so put together. It is so neat.
Yeah.
I think everybody cuts their lawn at the same time because it's all the same level and all their tulips are up. And sometimes it gets cold or whatever, but that's fine because they replant.
Mm-hmm.
They just have different tulips that come up at different times.
Yeah. So if you went on your own, you have to buy tickets to get in. You have to buy tickets for the parade. You have to buy tickets to get in the Vermeer Windmill, which is timed. You have to buy tickets. There's no city tour if you go by yourself. And so we do all of that and include a Dutch lunch.
Right.
So, I mean, and that they don't offer that anymore. We have that special now.
Right.
So it's just like the easiest, best way to go to the Tulip Festival, and you don't have to drive or park anywhere because also parking is crazy.
Right. And we do get a present from the bakery.
Yes, we do. The most famous present. So you have to go and check it out. Debbie said we didn't mention the fudge on the island of Mackinac.
Oh,
It is Fudge Central. They call all the people that come to the island fudgies because you're going there to try all the fudge. Like every 4th store is a fudge store, and it is good. It is very good fudge.
I'm gonna have to go back.
I know. It's
I
good
got
for
it.
opportunities. Okay, what's another one? This tour also is like filling up like crazy now. So I'm glad everybody's seen the ads and wants to go. But this is the Tulip Festival in Wamego, Kansas, and the Oz Museum. And so this is a 1-day tour from Kansas. So all of our Kansas folks, if you would like to do a 1-day tour that's similar to Pella, you can do the Wamego Tulip Festival, and that is April 11th.
Right.
So that's coming up here very shortly.
Right. And we didn't say the Pella is May 9th.
Yeah.
May 9th. And then the Oz is April 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And then our next one is one of our crown jewels, and that is the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
And that one is April 28th to May 3rd. And what can we say?
Yeah. We've got some people on the tour on the chat. Terry and my dad are on, and they were there with us last year. Steph is taking it. Steph took it last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steph, and she's taking it this year, isn't she?
No, Paige is taking it this year.
Oh, Paige is
Paige taking it this year.
Right.
Also, one of our favorite trips. That is True Americana. That goes in the same line with Mackinac, I think. It's just brilliant.
Yes. It's just a different kind.
Yep.
It's very thrilling.
Yeah.
And we sat in the right place.
Totally true. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then the next one is the Kansas Galena trip, which is May 13th to the 15th.
Yep.
And Galena, you shop till you drop.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's a shopping town. I mean, there's a winery there, and we do have a city tour that takes you around the city and shows you. I think there were 9 generals in that city, and we go past their homes and they tell you stories and things like that. And then we stay at the Tesota house where these generals stayed, and we eat there and we have breakfast there. It's very nice.
Yep.
And what else can I say about that?
I mean, it's like if you are thinking of a Mother's Day gift or sometimes spend with your mother-daughter, like this is the trip, or your girlfriends. I mean, guys, there's plenty of things to do if you don't want to shop. So if you want to go do a husband and wife tour, there's ghost tours. Like we talked about the general houses.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of history there too. There's plenty to do, but it is definitely a super fun weekend getaway for our lady friends.
Right. And then we stop at the Amish place on the way home, which is growing a lot.
Yeah.
I can remember when it was only a couple stores. Now it's like 3 blocks of stores. I always go and get the meat from the meat market.
Oh my God, the cheese.
And they have the greatest flower shop there.
Yep.
I think our whole bottom of our bus was full of flowers for the women to plant.
Yep.
Yeah. So
amazing trip.
It's amazing. Amazing. And again, that's May 13th to the 15th.
Yep.
And then the other one that we have is Alaska, July 2nd to the 13th.
Yep. So we had Alaska earlier. It was the dates in the catalog were earlier in the year, more June, but that tour sold out. So we moved it back to July 2nd. So you get to spend the 4th of July in Alaska. It's super unique. Absolutely epic tour. I mean, it gets rave reviews every year. That is the land, air, and sea tour. So you're going to fly there. That's included. The land tour to Denali and stay in Denali National Park is on there with the dog sleds and all of that. And then you do the cruise on the Inside Passage on Norwegian.
Right. It's beautiful. Tom, Brienne, and I, we all took that one 2 years ago. And it's another great trip.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. It's a trip in itself. I mean, we saw the iceberg. It was like it was made to, they did it purposely for us like a show. The whole side of that iceberg just fell down and made a wave and hit our boat.
Cool.
And then we had whales all around us.
Cool.
I know. It's great. And then we went to the dog sled thing. We took a helicopter into the valley, and there were about 120 dogs, puppies and dogs, and we learned how to dog sled.
So cool.
And I didn't wear a coat.
Yeah, that's true. It was June, and this will be July, so probably it's similar.
Right.
Yeah.
The only time I wore a coat was when we were on the boat.
Yeah, Steph said she wanted to steal one of the puppies and take it home. I know, they're so cute.
They are.
Steph took it, and she said it was amazing, and she had a great time, trip of a lifetime. Leslie, good to see you. Looking forward to Alaska. Oh, yes, that's right. Mark Thompson, good to see you on. Thanks for joining. So that is what's coming up here. And then we also are going to be, for all our Cornerstone guests that are joining us, the time is coming. We are going to be down in St. Louis in that first week in April. So we got some tour party dates.
Yes, Tuesday, April 7th. We're going to have 2 shows. We're going to have one at 10 a.m. in the morning and then one at 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Where is it at?
It's going to be at the Courtyard by Marriott in St. Peters, Missouri.
Cool. Okay, and then we have one Wednesday, April 8th. That show is at 1 p.m., and that is at the Baldwin Event Center, and that's 333 Holloway Road in Baldwin, Missouri.
And then Thursday, we're going to have a 1 p.m. show, and that one's going to be at the Hampton Inn in St. Louis at 4200 Mid-America Lane.
Perfect. And then we have one Friday, April 10th. That show is at 10 a.m. And that is at the Cornerstone Travel Lounge. And that lounge is at 2754 Lafayette Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri. You can't miss it. It's got Cornerstone Travel Group and Excite Experiences on the building now. Todd and his team put that up there. So I think they also have some displays up there. There's been emails floating around. And we're also going to be at the Travel Lounge office in and out all week. And then on Saturday, there's a fundraiser going on at a YMCA. So I'm sure there's more details out about that.
Right. So we'll be there all week.
Yep.
A bunch of us.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to have we have Jenna down there, Bree's going down there, Mark Thompson is going down, and then Brian and Cliff and Steph. From Kansas City. So it'll be a great week down there to meet everybody.
Right.
And then all of our other tour parties, our catalog this year will come out in July, the end of July, so the earliest it has, and then our tour parties will be in August. So those events will be posted soon. We'll be able to go on, and you can actually RSVP this year, so we have a better idea of who comes. And so those will be in August because we used to do them in September, but there are a million tours in September and October, and so there just isn't time and we're on half of them. So
Right.
we won't be here.
Plus, people are already asking us for our 2027 books,
Yeah.
and we haven't even thought about that yet.
Yep.
So that's why we just have to jump ahead a little bit.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, hey, it was so great to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us on another Tour Tuesday. We will be back next week at 7:30. Until then, we can't wait to travel with you.
I'm so glad to be back, guys.
See you later.
Bye.